In Jamaica Magazine today, a program linking farmers with water, plus details on the first ever Blue Mountain Coffee Festival, and later, helping children with developmental disabilities. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith, your host for today's show. All that and more after this message.
Experience has been good, and I've enjoyed every single bit of it.
This program is the best program I ever been in.
The Empowerment program is a good program. It helps you physically, mentally, and all the ways that you can think of.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, March 21. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has unveiled a plan to register and issue titles for 20,000 parcels of land over the next 3 years. The Prime Minister was making his contribution to the budget debate in Parliament Tuesday. He says the National Housing Trust, NHT, will be providing $2 billion to partially fund the program. It will help to create a system of credit where persons can borrow money to get their titles. Mr. Holness also gave an update on government's drive to merge the Land Administration and Management Program, LAMP, and the National Land Agency, NLA, to create a public body to title lands across the island.
The roadmap has been prepared. The LAMP merger, the merger of LAMP into the NLA to create this new titling agency, and the legal machinery will start officially April 1, 2018, next month.
The new agency will adopt a systematic land registration system whereby designated areas are targeted with officers going house to house to register and title lands.
Systematic land registration results in a lower cost per parcel, and increased registration can be done in a shorter period, whereas a voluntary system of registration takes a much longer time to complete. Under the current LAMP, the cost of producing a title is $192,000 per parcel. Under the proposed systematic program, the cost of producing a title will be reduced to approximately $134,000 per parcel.
Government will be creating a watch list of gang-associated persons as part of enhanced security measures. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says persons placed on the watch list by the courts will be subjected to enhanced surveillance and other measures.
For too long, persons with gang associations and those who are part of criminal organizations have been proceeding with impunity. Currently, research is being undertaken to guide the establishment of a watch list.
He also revealed that political consensus on the country's crime plans would be sought through the reintroduction of the Vale Royal talks with the parliamentary opposition.
I am confident we can reach an understanding to put national security above politics in the same way the government and the opposition have rallied around to pass legislation relating to IMF targets.
In related news, newly appointed Commissioner of Police, Major General Anthony Anderson, is declaring that the states of public emergency are progressing apace and the operations are assisting to reduce murders. The commissioner, who took office on March 19, was speaking to JIS News on Tuesday following a call on the Minister of National Security, Robert Montague. He emphasized that sustained pressure by the security forces was integral to maintaining law and order in key areas. Prime Minister Andrew Holness declared the state of public emergency in the St. Catherine North Police Division on Sunday, March 18. It will be in effect for an initial 14 days. A similar declaration was made for St. James in January. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid says all is set for tomorrow's start of the Grade 6 Achievement Test, GSAT. He told reporters on Tuesday that there were no impairments in preparations for the final cohort to sit the test.
We are confident, notwithstanding certain ailment that occurred last week, that from all reports, Mr. Green, majority of the grade 6 teachers, while others were ill, those grade 6 teachers, even they were feeling ill, they did not neglect their students. They were having classes with their students.
39,093 students are registered to sit the final staging of the Grade 6 Achievement Test on Thursday and Friday of this week. It will be replaced by the Primary Exit Profile, PEP, next year. And finally, 2 new specialized cardiac ambulances are now in the island, offering a life-saving addition to local health service delivery. The ambulances were bought under the Japanese government's Grant Assistance for Grassroots and Human Security Project at a cost of $83,000. They have been presented to the Heart Institute of the Caribbean Foundation, bringing its fleet to 4.
At HIC, we strive to provide first-class cardiovascular care for all our patients, minimizing and in many cases eliminating the need to go abroad for comparable care and treatment. The commissioning of these cardiac ambulances will go a far way in ensuring that we continue to maintain this high level of care at HIC.
Pointing out that the foundation subsidized care for over 1,000 patients to the tune of $120 million last year, Ms. Doyen says these ambulances will also support the entity's mandate of ensuring that inability to pay does not prevent persons from accessing its critical services. For his part, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton welcomed the donation and the boost to healthcare represented by the Heart Institute services.
In the public space, we are limited by resources, and as a consequence, it is a reality that some people die before being able to get treatment. Or if they could get treatment and get it in a timely way, then the risk of them dying would have been less. In essence, we would have been able to save lives. This is what the Heart Institute of the Caribbean is offering.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Water, that precious commodity that we cannot do without, is the nourishment for many sectors such as agriculture. Take a look at how the government of Jamaica is helping farmers to harness water for use on their lands.
Farmers, the lifeline of the food chain. Water, the precious resource that helps to grow the food we love. Put them together and we get an agriculture sector that will produce on a consistent and sustainable level. So the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries is continuously implementing projects to connect farmers with water through initiatives like the Government of Jamaica Adaptation Fund Program. The agriculture component of the GOJ Adaptation Fund Program is to build farmers' resilience against climate change. With over $250 million Jamaican dollars in funding, farmers in vulnerable communities are being trained in best practice methods such as land husbandry and equipped for rainwater harvesting and improved irrigation infrastructure. Beneficiaries are small farmers in the parishes of Trelawny, St. Mary, Manchester, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, St. Anne and Clarendon. We journeyed into the hills of Low River in southern Trelawny to look at the work being done to harvest and distribute water to the predominantly yam farming community.
The Low River Water Harvesting and Irrigation Scheme is just under $2 million. One of the systems that has been most far-reaching, the fact is that to date we have just about 70 householders that have been connected to the system, and that is directly impacting about 350 community members. This system comprises of an entombment. What we have done, we have improved the entombment. We have built a wall across this area here, about 5 to 6 feet in depth and about 12 feet across. And that has improved the water storage capacity significantly. It was about 9 feet prior to the intervention, and now the 6 feet that we have added brings it to about 14 feet in depth.
To increase the flow of the water from the hill, the 3-inch pipes which connected the system before were changed to 6-inch pipes.
And that is what accounts for the significant pressure that we observe down in the community.
Prior to the improved water system, community members would have to come here and catch water for domestic use, while the farmers had to go to the river to catch water for irrigation purposes.
So you no longer have to go to the river to take up water?
We don't think so.
Because the water is at the farm.
The pipe run, everything going in process.
We don't have to go to the river. We don't have to pay the extra money for you to carry the water.
I think this water system would help us better now.
Presently, we have an approximately 470 farmers who benefit from the system. These farmers presently cultivate some 267 hectares of land. We are encouraging farmers to farm what we call climate smart agriculture. And this project certainly is a way to assist these farmers in order for them to produce all year round and in order for them to support, especially the import substitution program that the government is presently promoting.
The Low River Water Project was started in 2014 by the residents and Councillor of the Lorimer's Division, Paul Patmore. By enhancing the water system, the Government of Jamaica Adaptation Fund program was able to not only increase the flow of water, but also ran pipes along the main, and the residents took it a step further.
They have gone ahead and invested in pipes, in black tanks, to take the water from our distribution line into their household. So this is a real partnership between the community and the project.
I would just want to take time out just to say thank you to the management and staff of the GOJ project, and we really appreciate it.
Many of the farmers have testified that they are able to go back into production, expand their production, and quite a number of householders are now living more comfortable in terms of having access, increased access to water, both for irrigation as well as domestic purposes. The greenhouse that was out of operation because of the lack of water, preparation is being made as we speak to recommission that greenhouse into production. Transportation comes as far as from St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester, to collect water, to carry back to those communities to service farmers as well as community householders for domestic as well as irrigation use.
The next phase of the Low River Water Project is to connect the farmers with on-farm irrigation systems.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami, we run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Coffee is on show this weekend at a festival in the Blue Mountains. Here's what to expect.
Coffee is Jamaica's most famous bean. There's no question about that. Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee makes one of the world's best brews. That's the positive reputation the tourism ministry seeks to capitalize on as the country hosts the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival, March 23 to 25 at Newcastle in the cool hills of the country's highest peak.
We, the members of the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, are extremely delighted to endorse and be a part of this year's staging of the Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival in association with the Tourism Linkage Council, the Tourism and the Agricultural Ministries.
After crude oil, coffee is the most sought after commodity in the world. Its export is estimated at $20 billion, mostly consumed by industrialized countries such as Japan and the United Kingdom. Coffee is Jamaica's gold. It is a major income earner for the country, with about 7,000 coffee farmers across the island.
Based on recent reports from the Coffee Industry Board, the coffee industry generates last year some $17 million in export. The value chain of the Jamaican coffee industry starts from the coffee fields in rural communities to our factories, some in rural communities and others in industrial zones, to our hotels, supermarkets, inbound shops, in resort areas, and of course, to the world, namely Japan, United States, Europe, China, Taiwan, just to name a few countries.
We're exploring various options for the products, and we would like to expand the coffee industry such that the pharmaceutical industry, the beauty and cosmetic sector, and gastronomy will look to the hills, our hills in East Rural, as the source for sustenance.
Now that you're reminded of the value and potency of the Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee, let's find out what will be the features of the festival.
This signature festival will be a 3-day celebration of all things coffee, with lots of sampling, food demonstrations, workshops, exhibitors' booths, live entertainment, a barista competition, and the opportunity to purchase high-quality coffee and other products. It is definitely a must to be there event for coffee lovers and aficionados. The festival will also bring together local and international coffee connoisseurs, coffee suppliers, foodies, and other interested parties from local, regional, and international markets, including Cayman, Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados, as well as the UK, the USA, Europe, and Canada. Our intention is to build out a series of experiences around one of our most iconic brands.
Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival, another notch in promoting the country as a gastronomy destination.
There's a power in the faintest heartbeat that cannot be denied. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're gonna take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's heart.
World Down Syndrome Day, observed today, is a time to generate awareness about the disorder. This condition comes with many learning, physical, and health challenges. Early intervention programs, such as those offered at the Stimulation Plus Child Development Center, can make all the difference. Watch this.
How does it feel to be different from me? Are we the same? How does it feel?
Since 1975, the Early Stimulation Program has been providing assistance to thousands of children with developmental disabilities all across the island, transforming their lives from black and white into living glorious technicolor, providing therapeutic and educational services for children with special needs. To broaden that objective, in 2006, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security expanded the activities of the program to include a Stimulation Plus STIM Plus Early Childhood Development Center.
We see children with cerebral palsy. We see children with chromosomal disorders such as Down syndrome. We see children with intellectual impairment, learning disabilities. We see children with autism and a number of various conditions.
After its initial assessment, the center implements feasible programs for those children aged 3 to 6 years to help them overcome their challenges.
We have what we call a parent orientation, that we sit with you and we explain what is happening or what might be happening with your child, and look at a program how we are going to go about assisting this child developmentally. The case is discussed with the home intervention supervisor and other team members.
Counseling sessions and workshops are also organized for the parents and guardians who have a difficulty accepting and dealing with their child's disability. In addition, STIM Plus has daily therapeutic treatment for the children.
We have over 112 children. We have 8 classes, and the children are not necessarily in classes according to their age, but based on their capabilities or their mental age, they are placed into classes.
And so, from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. weekday, the disabled children receive one-on-one attention, specifically tailored to their need to help improve their condition. Just take a look at some of the activities for these children diagnosed with cerebral palsy. They vary, from using a swing to teach balance so that the children will be able to sit and walk properly, to enjoying a ride on the peanut ball.
So she is on the ball and we move her back and forth to strengthen her upper body and get head control. Up, Alicia. Up, up. Bring your head up, Alicia. Head up. Very good, Alicia.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? It's rough, it's rough.
Others enjoy tactile stimulation techniques, which uses rough and soft material to stimulate and differentiate between the senses.
So we want to encourage Gabby to do hand-eye coordination stuff, so she'll be able to see the object and pick it up. So go, Gabby. We're also doing it in a sitting position to encourage Gabby to sit down, right? Pretty girl? Take up the block for Auntie. Put your hand around it. Woo! We got one! Nice girl!
There are also activities to help these children with special needs to develop their literacy and numeracy skills.
5 little ducks went swimming one day over the hill and far away. Mama duck said quack, 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 and only 4 little ducks came back.
We use the music to teach the children to count, to teach them to identify the numbers, use their fingers and to interact.
Parents who enrolled their children at STIM Plus, which is operated by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, have seen first-hand improvements in their children with special needs. Melissa's daughter is diagnosed with autism, but things are looking up.
Lots of changes. First things first, I credit them with having my child walk and run and even swing on a swing song by herself. Things that I didn't know that she could do on her own, that she wasn't doing at home.
He's learning more to count, says ABC, as well as he comes, he's doing a little writing, but you find he's not holding the pencil as strong as you want him to, so he doesn't write as perfect as you're expecting him to. But he's trying to do a little more than what he was doing before, so you're seeing improvement.
Shantoy, say ABC for mommy. She was slow with the letters. Now she knows all her letters, she knows colors. She's able to speak her mind freely. Vast improvement.
When the children reach the age of 6 and have made, the progress, we do have a graduation for them that parents look forward to. Seeing these children who were so delayed, now going off.
Off to other special education programs or the formal school system, some getting a chance to even do their GSAT, complete high school and university.
These are some of the things that inspire us to go on to help the children. We have children who come here and they're not talking and they leave talking.
You know, things like that that inspire us and encourage us to go on.
So if you have a child or know of a child with special needs,
just have faith and work with the child, just as STEM Plus would work with them, right? And help them. Don't leave the teacher alone to work with them. Don't rough them. Don't try to, you know, make them feel like them is nobody.
My advice to them is, if you do have a child with disability, Stimulation Plus is the place for them to be.
For more information, contact the Early Stimulation Program, 95 Hanover Street, Kingston, or the Ministry of Labour and Social Security in your parish.
As much as we would like everyone to be like us, this is not the case. Our country is filled with diversity. Variety is indeed the spice of life. There are differences in people, cultures, lifestyles, religions, and political preferences. It is therefore important that we are tolerant of people's differences. Tolerance does not mean agreement. It is more like accepting that someone is entitled to their preference even though they may differ from yours. I am sure you've seen where someone felt as if his or her opinion was being attacked. And what did this person do? Well, he or she may have fought back. Intolerance can too easily lead to fighting, violence, and the destruction of peace in the society. Tolerance means that people can live together peacefully, and this is important if we want Jamaica to be the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
This is where my journey with you for the magazine ends. But if you want more, check us out online. Visit our website or YouTube channel. We like feedback. Send us yours by email or on our social media pages. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. On behalf of the entire production team, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.